Good morning, children. What is the date today? Today is 19th of August. And what is the day? The day is Thursday. And beta, today we will be doing the exercise and question answers of a great man. Okay? So, let's see the exercise of a great man. You have to read the questions and choose the correct option to answer. What was the first name of Gautam Buddha? Siddharth. Siddharth was the first name of Gautam Buddha. What kind of clothes did Siddharth wear as a monk? He wore saffron robes, cotton clothes, or silken clothes. He used to wear saffron robes. Robes means piece of cloth. On which night did Siddharth attain enlightenment? No moon night, half moon night, or full moon night? Yes, it was full moon night. Okay, now beta, let's come to next page. Write briefly about the people and places named below. Who were these people? What were these places? Write in your notebook. Now what you have to do, you have to write about these people and the places. Okay, like you can see King Shuddhodhan. Who was he? He was father of Siddharth. Okay, who was Prince Siddharth? Prince Siddharth was actually the prince of a place known as Kapilvastu, and he was the real Buddha. किंग बिम्बिसारा, ऐसे ही आप किंग बिम्बिसारा के बारे में सर्च करके बुक में से राइट करोगे. सेम वे में आप राजगृह क्या होता है उसके बारे में सर्च करके राइट करोगे. ओके, सो यू हैव टू डू दिस एक्सरसाइज दिस वे. Okay, now let's see the next one. Complete the story of Prince Siddharth by filling in the blanks. Prince Siddharth left dash to find the answers to some questions. Left. What did he leave? Let's see in the book. This way you have to search for the answer. After leaving whom Prince Siddharth reached? Yes, so what he left? You will write King Siddharth. What he left? He left his home. तो आप यहाँ पे क्या राइट कर दोगे? He left home. He came to Rajgrih. He had become a wandering. What he became? He became a wandering. Now let's see what he became. He became a wandering monk. So you will write monk here. Okay. Now he used to go with a dash for begging food. He used to go with a what he used to go? He used to go with a bowl for begging for food. Yes, so you will write BOWL, bowl. He looked as if he were a god. The kings dash saw him. The kings who saw him? The kings soldiers saw him. Yes, so you will write soldiers here. The king's soldiers saw him and went to the dash. And went to the dash. What will be dash? What will be at dash? Went to the court to tell the king about this extraordinary man. Beta, here you can write palace also. यहाँ पे आप palace भी write कर सकते हो. Okay, King Bimbisara dash to meet Siddharth. King Bimbisara, what to meet Siddharth? Let's see. King Bimbisara was interested to meet Siddharth. He decided to look for himself. ओके, सो आप यहाँ पे 2 चीज़ें फिल कर सकते हो. यू कैन फिल इंटरेस्टेड, वॉज इंटरेस्टेड ऑल्सो, एंड यू कैन फिल डिसाइडेड ऑल्सो. King Bimbisara decided to meet Siddharth. He offered half of his dash. He offered half of his. Let's see what he offered. He offered him half of his Let's see, he came there. Now you will see, you will search for it. ऐसे ही आपको search करना होता है. Throne. He shared half, or he was ready to share half of his throne. But Siddharth dash, saying he only wanted, but Siddharth refused, saying he only wanted dash. What he wanted? He wanted king to let him stay there. Yes, he wanted, what he wanted king to do? Now let's see. Search for it, everyone. Your words, your manner, that's my implore. He remained in Rajgriha. Yes, what he told that I don't want anything, only you let me be in Rajgriha for some more days. है ना. उन्होंने क्या बोला था? उन्होंने बोला था मुझे कुछ और डेज़ के लिए आप कहाँ पे रहने दो, आप मुझे राजगृह में कुछ और डेज़ के लिए रहने दो. Yes, so let's see what happens. He has told him to stay in Rajgriha. He only wanted, saying he only wanted dash Siddharth. Acha, okay, here it will be beta that but Siddharth refused, saying he only wanted to be an ascetic. उनको सिर्फ एक ascetic बन के रहना था. Siddharth later became dash after he got true knowledge and enlightenment. After he got true knowledge and enlightenment, what his name got to be? His name got to be Buddha. Okay, now see, the events of Gautam's lives are written in wrong order. Number them in correct order. आपको क्या करना है? Numbering करना है correct order में. Okay. First, let's read it. Then only you will be able to understand. Siddharth left home. Siddharth told Bimbisara about. Soldiers told Bimbisara about Siddharth. Siddharth became a wandering ascetic. Bimbisara offered half of his kingdom to Siddharth, but Siddharth refused. Siddharth meditated. Siddharth got enlightenment and was called Buddha. He came to Rajgriha. So, which is the first step of Siddharth's life? The first step of Siddharth's life was that Siddharth left home. So, you will write 1. Then the second step was he became a wandering ascetic. So this will be step 2. Now what happened? Now he came to Rajgriha. So it is the step 3. Now next one. What happened? Soldiers told Bimbisara about Siddharth. So it will be step 4. Now next is let's see the fifth one. What happened? Bimbisara offered half of his kingdom to Siddharth, but Siddharth refused. So it will be step 5. Siddharth meditated. It will be step 6. And Siddharth got enlightenment and was called Buddha. It will be step 7. Got it? Now beta question answers. I will be giving you the question answers in the assignment section and you will do it in your copy. Okay?
A great man.
Gautam Buddha was one of the greatest men the world has known. He was a reformer. He was kind to men and animals. Anyone who saw him at once became his follower. Kings and common people honored him. Gautam Buddha was born as Prince Siddharth of Kapilavastu, now in Nepal. At his birth, the astrologers predicted that he would either be a great emperor or a great ascetic. Siddhartha was a kind young man. He thought that the world was full of pain. He looked for a way of removing the sufferings of people. He left his home when he was 29 years old and became a wandering monk. After leaving home, Prince Siddhartha reached Rajgriha, the capital of the great kingdom of Magadha, modern Bihar. He was now living as a wandering ascetic. He had cut off his beautiful curly locks and given away his gorgeous silken robes and precious jewels. He was dressed in ordinary saffron robes worn by those who had renounced the world. Even as a monk, Siddhartha looked impressive. He was extremely handsome, and his face and body seemed to shine with a golden glow. He was tall and well built. His voice was deep and powerful, yet sweet and pleasant. The look on his face was serene and dignified. He had a small group of followers with him. He used to beg for his food. He held a bowl in his hand and stood in front of a house with his arm outstretched. He did not ask for food, but waited for a few minutes and moved on to another house. Each day, he accepted food only from one household. Everyone who saw him was struck by his magnificence. People followed him just to have a longer look at him or hear him speak. They spoke to each other about him and urged everyone to meet him, for he did not seem an ordinary monk. They kept a respectful distance as they did not wish to annoy him. Some soldiers of Bimbisara, the king of Magad, saw him and went to the palace to tell the king about this extraordinary man. They said,
"O king, there is a monk newly arrived in the city who is no ordinary human being. He seems to be divine. Such is the glow on his face and body. We cannot say if he is a god or a man. He is surely a great being."
King Bimbisara was interested. He decided to look for himself. He went to the roof of the palace. He saw the young ascetic and his marvelous look. He told his soldiers,
"Follow him and find out more about him. If he is not a man, he will vanish as soon as he leaves the city. If he is a god, he will vanish by way of air. If he is a human being, he will eat the food that is given to him."
Siddhartha went to the river and had a bath. Then he climbed a hill and ate his food sitting on a rock outside his cave. The soldiers reported this to King Bimbisara. He decided to meet him. Siddhartha was sitting under a tree when Bimbisara met him. He saluted the young ascetic and said,
"You are surely a man of high birth. The harsh life of an ascetic is not for you. I shall give you a high office in my court. You can be my minister and advise me."
Siddhartha smiled and said,
You are gracious, O king, but I do not desire any high office. I have renounced the world.
You are so wise. My heart is filled with love and respect for you, noble sir. I am willing to share my throne with you. You will be the co-ruler of Magad with me.
King Bimbisara said. Siddhartha laughed out loud. He said in his deep voice,
If I had desired a throne, I would not have left my own kingdom. I am Siddharth, son of the Shakya king, Shuddhodhan of Kapilvastu.
Why did you leave home, noble sir?
King Bimbisara asked.
This world is nothing but full of misery. Every creature is unhappy. Whatever happiness is there does not last. I am seeking a path which will free men of their misery. I am seeking enlightenment.
Your words, your manners inspire great faith in me. Promise me, sir, that when you have found enlightenment, you will come to my kingdom and enlighten me and my people.
Bimbisara requested. Siddhartha smiled gloriously and promised. He remained in Rajgriha for some more days meditating. Then he left to become the disciple of Alara Kalam, a famous teacher. He learned everything that his teacher had to teach him, but was not satisfied. He went to other teachers. They were all very impressed with his calm, dignified behavior and his extraordinary ability to learn. He withdrew into a deep forest and lived a life of great austerity. Siddhartha realized that causing pain to one's body and remaining hungry would not take him near enlightenment. He accepted food from the villagers and continued to meditate. Finally, on a full moon night in summer, sitting and meditating under a tree, Siddhartha received enlightenment. He became Buddha, the enlightened one. The day of his enlightenment is known as Buddha Purnima. The tree under which he sat is known as Bodhi tree, and the small town nearby as Bodh Gaya. Lord Buddha kept his promise to Bimbisara. He went to Rajgriha and gave sermons to Bimbisara and his people. Bimbisara gifted the Venuvana or the bamboo forest for his disciples. Gautam Buddha preached for over 45 years. His doctrine spread not only in India but outside too, to the east and west.